Hey folks, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the only podcast recorded from coast to coast, two men in rooms alone, talking into microphones, not next to each other, but distant, but still connected by the bond of a podcast, a weekly podcast named Apocalypse Soon with Eddie Pepitone. And hey folks, welcome to the podcast. If you're not subscribed yet, go and subscribe over at YouTube, all that good stuff. We got all the links down below. Before we get into the podcast though, hey, it's me, Kevin Tinkin, saying Eddie will be here very shortly. He recorded a full podcast in his hotel room alone, which honestly I'm finding very impressive, more and more impressive as the seconds tick on in this recording I'm doing right now in my room, surrounded by all the regular elements where I'm usually sleeping. There is a hair shirt of some sort of costume that I bought years ago that I'm looking at now and I've never worn, but it's here, because if you see a really unique shirt, you gotta grab it. You gotta grab it. And I know that eventually I will find somebody who can benefit from it. But yeah, hey buddy, so this week I went to Washington DC. I went there for an entire week. I've been back for about a week now, but I went to Washington DC with my two kids and my wife. My father was in World War II and fought in the Korean War, and used to take all of his grandkids out to DC as they were approaching college age, just to kind of check it out and show them the memorial and whatnot. And my grandfather passed away a few years ago, but my dad wanted to continue that tradition, and so asked if he could take my kids. And so me and my wife were like, absolutely, we'd like to come too. So we all went. And we stereotypically visited all of the tourist places. I got to see the Library of Congress. I think we went to 7 different museums. History of the White House Museum. Bunch of cool stuff. My favorite stuff was spending time with the fam. I had a great time just hanging with the old man and just chopping it up and giving him a hard time, and just kind of a dynamic that I don't get to be around him very much, so it was great. It was a lot of fun. And then also watching your kids interact with your parents is also a very fun dynamic. And my kids are like irony poisoned. I mean, they're 17 and 15. So and then my niece was there, and she's 18. So between the three of them, the amount of quoting of like Instagram reels and different memes and stuff that they all relatively know, and none of the rest of us have any clue. But we're just there, and they're quoting random stuff. And my father was losing his mind. He's just like, the generation's lost. I'm like, I can't completely disagree with you, but I have faith. I have hope, even though my kids may be completely irony poisoned at some point. They're great kids, and yeah, it was a good time. Just nice to get a whole week with the fam, and just get a lot of special alone time, with people I care about the most, the people that that are my family, my the whole gang there. So that was cool. I got to see my Aunt Jan, who I haven't seen in a long time, who worked for the Clintons back during Bill Clinton's administration, and so watching my dad's conversation, who's traditionally conservative, and my Aunt Jan, just have very polite discourse, was quite refreshing. There was no yelling, but yeah, it was great. It was good to see. Had some great meals, drank a lot of Bloody Marys, kissed my wife a few times. I apologize if this is too wholesome, folks. I'm going to apologize right now if this is too wholesome, but the alternative was, Eddie said, interview my testicles. And I'm just going to do that real quick. Hey, you doing all right? Yeah? All right. I'm lonely. Really?
Yeah. Nobody plays with me ever. Maybe you sometimes, but I'm sick of it.
Buddy, come on. I just wanted to know, general, how you're doing. You don't have to sell me out immediately.
Well, I'm just speaking the truth as your testicles. Man, you ever think about shaving me? Good Lord, these hairs. There's not a lot of them, but they sure are long and stringy.
Okay, please stop. This is disgusting, and I don't think a lot of people want to hear this.
You're the one who brought it up. You said you wanted to hear from your own nutsack, so here I am. You're nuts. Talking about your nuts. This is what you wanted.
Yeah, I suppose it is probably, a pretty limited conversation we'd have here, but how are you feeling about like kind of the overreach of the government in current society with the ICE raids going on and without the permission of the governing body of the current state and the ICE agents just busting in? How do you feel about that?
Well, you want to know about overreach? Look at the length of me. Oh, good Lord, I'm overreaching almost down to your knees.
This is too much. See, Eddie, I told you this would be a bad idea. It's gone too far. Well, folks, you probably had about enough of me by myself, but I hope you're doing well. I care about you. Keep listening, keep subscribing. And now, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the only podcast. That's the podcast that keeps going. We keep going. It doesn't matter if Eddie's out of town, and if you want to know when he's coming to your town, go to eddiepepitone.com. But right now, tune in, put on your listening britches, put on your giggle galoshes, strap on your happy hat, because here he is, the bitter Buddha himself, Mr. Eddie Pepitone.
Nobody gets out alive. Don't say that, Fred. We have many resources, and we're going to marshal all of them. I'm telling you, no one gets out alive. Hey, everybody, it's Eddie Pepitone, and welcome to the podcast from the road where no one gets out alive. Oh, baby, we have a lot of guests on this podcast. The first guest is a musician who's been on the road for many, many, many years. His name is Tom Reynolds, and he's a folk singer. Hiya, Tom. Hey, Eddie, I hear you've been traveling too. I got a little ditty I just wrote if you want me to do it. Oh, Tom, I would love that. I have been traveling a lot, and the road is a cruel mistress. Speaking of cruel mistresses, Eddie, my mistress, dominatrix, whatever you want to call her, someone who sticks the boot in me because I like to be called a bad person. My mistress, Tony, and that's a Toni, she's a lady. My mistress, Tony, that's all she gives me is that name. I kind of don't like the, that you could interpret it one way or the other gender-wise, because when I tell my buddies I'm seeing Tony, my mistress, they get a little upset with me, but I did write a ditty. Hold on, Tony. This is Eddie Pepitone. This is Apocalypse Soon. I am here interviewing Tom Reynolds, who's been traveling a lot. He's a folk singer. What do your friends say? I mean, they should be supportive of you. You know, I know I whine about this a lot, but I feel like my dad wasn't that supportive of me. You know, have you ever tried when your father is not supportive of you ordering seared salmon with a bourbon pecan pie, whipped cream, vanilla ice cream on the side, and just kind of, you order that, a seared salmon, whipped cream, pecan pie. Tom, what's going on? My dad wasn't that supportive. I don't think substituting food, you start looking like Orson Welles. Oh, here's a ditty about Orson Welles. You ready? Okay. bum, bow. He was a fat fuck at the end of his life. Orson Welles was a fat fuck at the end of his life, but he did make some good films, notably Citizen Kane. He had a lot of affairs. He was a crazy womanizer, but he was an interesting artist who even was involved in the Mercury Theater. He did the War of the... Hey, Tom, I'm going to stop you. Okay, that's okay. I just go with the flow. Tom, I'm going to stop you because I feel like it's not really a song. It's just kind of you talking. Jesus Christ. You know, I've been having self-doubts lately because I feel like I've been getting too much support from people. And I don't think they're seeing the fact that I'm just talking instead of singing. Tom, look, instead of getting upset, why don't you order a seared salmon, maybe a chicken tortilla soup, side of fries, bourbon pecan pie with whipped cream, and a vanilla ice cream. That sounds damn good, buddy. All right, all right, maybe I could make this more of a song, okay? This one's about Federico Fellini. Tom, you're pretty interesting as far as like the subjects of your song. Well, I love Mr. Wells, and you brought up, being fat using food using food to substitute for father love. Yeah. Well, no, you brought up that fact. Well, it doesn't matter. I think we're both tired from the road. Just then, Eddie Pepitone realized he had split into two. The pressures of the road. He was now in Austin, where when he got off the plane, it was 99 degrees. Yes, Eddie just was so tired and hot. He went to Atlanta, he went to Durham, North Carolina, and on stage he kept saying he was in Raleigh. That's right, he kept saying he was in Raleigh when he was actually in Durham. That was the beginning of him falling apart, and then he performed in the Catskills and saw one of the greatest fans and greatest people in Max, the great Max, who does a lot of comments in the Patreon, and Max is a smart, brilliant man who's gonna make Eddie a gun-toting socialist. So Eddie went from Atlanta to Durham, which he called Raleigh, then the Catskills, then Pottstown, Pennsylvania, then D.C. last night, then flew to Austin, Texas, where it's 99 degrees. And now he is here waiting for room service. But he's two people. He's Tom Reynolds and He's Tom Reynolds and Eddie Pepitone. Well, Frederick Fellini. Here goes. 8.5 was a great movie, mama. Ow, ow, ow. 8.5 was a great movie, mama. Ow, ow. Armored was another movie. Armored. 8.5 Oh, that Freddie Fellini, he didn't like zucchini. Freddie Fellini, he didn't like zucchini. Freddie Fellini. Also, Pepitone, as he continued his Tom Reynolds impersonation. He also saw the Crimmins last night in Washington, D.C. Joanne and Stephen. Brilliant, brilliant people, brilliant fans. They always email Eddie suggestions for bits. Oh, my God, and Eddie, too bad Eddie is split into a double person. He now should be in Shutter Island. Shutter Island is where they send comics who are tired. Shutter Island is where they send comics who are tired. I'm exhausted, and I am going to Shutter Island. Welcome to Shutter Island. Welcome. Shutter Island, as you all know, hopefully you saw the movie about this place. Shutter Island is actually a very... By the way, I'm going to move away from my megaphone just for 1 second. But Shutter Island is a place where the insane are. We handle the insane. So if you're here, that means you're nuts. And by the way, we're all nuts at this point. I mean, look at the administration, right? Look at the administration. I was just trying to get the Do Not Disturb sign off my door here. Oh, shit. I'm not on Shutter Island. I'm not somebody welcoming someone on Shutter Island. I'm in a hotel room, and I just took the Do Not Disturb sign off because I have room service coming. What the hell is the matter with me? And I'm going to let you people hear the room service, okay? I'm going to let you hear what goes on in my life. Oh, God. Yeah, Eddie was having a tough day, but we all do. This administration with Trumpy fucking do. Trumpy and Israel, it's enough to make you shit. Israel just killed a bunch of journalists. They keep killing innocent people. They will reap their sowing. They will have horrible lives from here on out going. Eddie can't wait for his little food to come, and I wish you people would give Eddie some fun. Hey, everybody! Oh, I just want to tell you that Eddie said he was two people, but already he did the Shutter Island guy, he did Tom Reynolds, and he did himself, and now I'm in the deepest recesses of Eddie. I am in the deepest recesses of Eddie. I am a shampoo bottle that Eddie stuck up his arse. Eddie stuck a champagne bottle up his ass. That's right, and I am it. I am the not champagne, shampoo. A shampoo bottle. That's who I am. I'm a Johnson & Johnson shampoo bottle, and it feels good to be a Johnson & Johnson shampoo bottle. That's right. I'm in Eddie's ass. And Frederick Fellini and Orson Welles, both of them were a couple of big guys who fell Orson Welles' life took a turn for the worst, and I never looked up Freddie Fellini on Wikipedia, so I don't know. Welcome to Shutter Island. Uh-oh, I think that must be the room service. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Hello? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, vanilla. And could you also add a diet, like 2 Diet Cokes for me? What's that? Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. Bye. He just talked to... And I know what a lot of you are thinking. Oh, well, he can straighten up and be a real person when he has food on the line. What you heard was vanilla ice cream and 2 Diet Cokes. But there's much more food. Much more food coming, because when Eddie gets insanely tired, he doesn't really care what he eats. He becomes a receptacle for sugar and salmon and all kinds of things, because Eddie has difficulty loving himself, especially when he's tired. Oh, let's see. I have to get this clothes thing out of the way. I have a suitcase. Hello, welcome to Career Day. Career Day here. Achoo! Now, as most of you know, I am the man who hasn't stopped sneezing since JFK was shot. That was back in 1963. I just think it's allergies. I think it's allergies, but I have been sneezing now upwards of... let's see, that was 63, 27, 47 years is 2000, 47 and 25 is 62. I've been sneezing for 62, hold on, 62 years, and that was the first time I held a sneeze. And now we take you to the last newscaster on Earth. Hello, I'm fucking insane, and I really mean it this time. I am fucking insane. And our top story tonight: food is on the way. That's right, food. Great big chunk of salmon. And who knows what else will be in it? Oh, I'm getting possessed. I have taken over the podcast. My name is Nick, the angry, sad boy who lives in Eddie. Nick. Hello, everybody. Let's put Eddie aside. I'm angry. I'm sad. I live inside of Eddie. Eddie likes to tell jokes. But what Eddie would really like is just to be loved, to be held, to be told he's okay. I just had a funny thought that how funny would that be if I was like a contestant on Jeopardy And they ask me, Eddie, what are you doing? I say, Ken Jennings, he's the host of Jeopardy. Eddie is not here anymore. I'm Nick, the sad man who lives in Eddie. And the host, Ken Jennings, would be like, okay, well, hey, what does Nick have to say? Nick has to say that Eddie just wants to be held. Okay, well, Eddie, we're going to start with you in the categories. Eddie isn't ready to play yet. Ken. Eddie just wants to breathe in and out and be calm and not afraid. Always afraid. He lashes out sometimes, like today. He lashed out at the United employees on the airline because they deplaned Eddie right before it was going to take off. They said, we have a maintenance issue. And Eddie said, great. And none of the other sheeple said anything. And then Eddie said, great. Great going, guys. And they said, as Eddie got off the plane, had to take his fucking luggage off the plane, Eddie said, what the fuck? What? You guys, you can't do this to people. And they said, we just want to get you to your location safely. And Eddie said, how about you maintain your planes instead of always having to fix them, maintain them. You gouge us with prices and then your airlines don't work because you pay your CEOs $500,000 a year. Hey, I'm Tom Reynolds and I'm back. This was getting a little too dark. So first you heard that song from Frederick Fellini. About Fredericky Fellini. I'm going to sing a song about my little mistress, Tony. Okay, here we go. Tony's got a man's name, but her stockings and high heels say that she is a woman to me. She tells me to get on my knees and lick her high heels. And I do it with glee, glee, glee. Which was a fucked up show. Even though a lot of people liked it, it was a fucked up show. And I shared a room with a guy on Glee who committed suicide. Not kidding, I shared a room during the Emmys with him. I was in an Emmys trailer that was shown before the show, and I met a lot of stars, including John Hamm. And John, to show you what a nice guy is, even though he shills for any corporation, he said, hey, Eddie. He knew me from comedy, and that was a nice thing to do. We interrupt this fucked up podcast. We interrupt Tony. Oh, Tony tells me to sniff her ass, and I do immediately. And then Tony, the mistress, tells me to read Kafka while she jerks me off. Knock, knock, knock. Yes. Sir, this is the Hilton. Yes, I know, I'm in the Hilton. Yeah, well, we hear what you're doing here. We hear it, okay? We hear it through the door. The person next to you who's in the room next to you is hearing you record this, and they're quite scared. They don't know that you're a comedian and you're tired, okay? They just think you're out of your mind, and they have a lot to live for, the person who complained. The person who complained was just named the spokesperson for Paxil. Wow. So he's going to get a lot of endorsement money? Yeah, Paxil's, it's a very widely used antidepressant because everybody now in this country is on antidepressants. And, quite frankly, the people who are not on it. Anyway, I'm getting off on a sidetrack. What we need you to do, sir, is if you're going to record a podcast, you're going to have to record something that makes a little, I don't know, more sense. And don't be so dark. I mean, singing about, sniffing your mistress's ass, reading Kafka while she jerks you off. Boy, you really did hear everything, huh? Look, it's I'm what's called radar ears. I'm called radar ears, and Hilton hired me because of my ability to hear through, I hear everything that's going on in rooms. Wow, that's an invasion of privacy, isn't it? No, I'm just I'm sorry. I'm just security, And yeah, I hear people, making love, or guys who've hired prostitute. Well, I don't know if it's making love. It's just people are getting their rocks off in these rooms here, and some of them are just watching television in these hotel rooms. They're just like watching Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy. Oh, I had a funny bit about Jeopardy. Yeah, I heard you said, wouldn't it be funny if you were that possessed guy, sad Nick, talking to Ken Jennings like, Eddie's gone away? I know. Wow, you retain information too. It's my job, They, my resume, I worked in Afghanistan, and I was able to hear a distance of like 100 miles, which is, I would hear 100 miles. I'd hear the whispers of the Taliban. I knew what they were doing, and I would relay it to my sergeant. Anyway, I'm getting off track. You can't be a lunatic here, okay? This is the Hilton, okay? Are you a Hilton? Oh, I see you are a Hilton's member, Hilton Honors member. Yes, but I can't fucking ever remember my Hilton's number. Well, a lot of people have that problem, sir. Oh my God, sir. Yeah, what's wrong? I just realized that I forgot my daughter's birthday today. Oh my God. All right, listen, just keep it down in here. I forgot my daughter's birthday. Hey, fella. The name is Fred. Fred, this is a bad way to end a sketch, Fred. Oh, what was I going to do? At first I was going to say I was having a heart attack, but that seemed rote. Yeah, but to say that you forgot your daughter's birthday, I got to go after this intense encounter with someone who's been listening to everything I said. I don't think it's cool, buddy. I don't think it's cool. Hey, you're right. Let me try to end it more organically. Please, Fred, try to end this sketch more organically so the poor people who have to listen to this podcast don't, get totally frustrated with it. I mean, they're going to be like, oh, great, he ended the podcast with the fucking, well, you know what I mean, I forgot my daughter's birthday line. All right, here, how about I'll end it like this? All right, sir. Now, I got a guy there's a guy on floor 9 who is doing something that is really upsetting his neighbor, and I think he's in the water sports, if you know what I mean. Water sports. By the way, how come you dropped that sneezing character so quickly? Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have dropped the sneeze. No, it wasn't bad. I know. I'm sorry. By the way, where is your salmon and your fries and your pecan pie? Vanilla ice cream. Where is it? I don't know, but I figured I could just record the podcast, and that would make the time go by quicker. Yeah, well, it's the woman who you just spoke to about ordering the 2 Diet Cokes and what flavor ice cream you wanted. She said it'd be right up. And to me, this isn't right up. Hey, Fred, are you trying to, push a button and get me angry again? I already yelled at a United flight attendant and a United pilot. Yeah, well, you shouldn't yell at people. They're just doing the best they can. I mean, you always pin it on, greed, but these people have nothing to do with the CEO making $500 million a year or $50 million a year, whatever the fuck they make. Oh, you're right, Fred. They're working stiffs, Eddie, and you say that you're a guy who defends working people, I know. So why then are you yelling? Why are you, yelling at working stiffs? Quite frankly, I don't know. I think it's just being irritated, It's just being irritated. It's being overtired, Fred. I understand that, but listen, I got to get up to floor 9 because Tony is making me sniff peanut butter that's on the floor. She says, lick that peanut butter, don't sniff it. Lick that peanut butter, don't sniff it. She spanks me really hard, and I tell her, can you spank me with reading glasses on? And she says, I need reading glasses to find your cock, which is a Louis C.K. joke. Always give credit, everybody. Whenever you steal a joke, always give credit. Now, I just want to say that I think the food is coming soon. I am going to leave the recorder on so you just hear me interacting with the working man, because I treated a couple of working people shitty today because I was angry. I didn't want to take my fucking luggage off the plane again. And I really thought, I've been on many planes where, not many, but I travel so much that I've been on a lot of delayed flights, and a lot of times they don't wind up taking off. And I was like, oh no, don't tell me this fucking plane is not going to. So I was expecting the worst, and I always do. So anyway, I want to kind of make amends with this next person who comes up with the food. Now, I asked that the person wear fishnets. I don't care if it's a man or woman, but whenever I get room service delivered, I always ask them, please do it in fishnets, And sometimes they do. Sometimes they're like, sir, this is the Hilton, and we'd rather not put on fishnets. And I'm like, well, I'm a Hilton Honors member. Anyway, I would like to do a couple of impressions for you. By the way, thanks for hanging out. This is obviously an off-the-cuff podcast. I think I mentioned all the places I've been traveling to. And quite frankly, I'm delirious. I'm thinking of a good movie. I want some movie suggestions for the next podcast. I'm always on the road, and I always when I'm and I always don't know what to watch. Too many choices. And I started Grosse Point Blank with John Cusack. It's an older movie, but it's good. He plays a hitman who goes back to a high school reunion. It's a great soundtrack by Joe Strummer, if you know Joe Strummer, which I don't think that was his birth name. His real name is probably Joe, Schwartz, but Joe Schwartz. Strummer, because someone who strums is a guitarist. But anyway, Joe Strummer did the soundtrack, and there's great old songs, and then his original music, and I think it's going to be. And I watched about half of it last night before I collapsed, and now I'm going to watch this second half. I just want to say this road trip has been great for me. I'll tell you. I really seriously, of course I do it for money, but I really seriously do it to become a better comic. And I'm being serious. That is why I do the road. I do hours in front of different people, different parts of the country. And I just really I just cut my teeth on every audience. And it just makes me stronger to continue to perform by doing. Okay, here's the guy. Okay, here's the guy. Hello. Oh, hi. Come on in. Can you put it right there on top of the? I'll take this away. Right here is good. Oh, the desk. The desk is good. Now the tip is on there, right?
Yes.
But I'm going to give you another just for you.
And then all I'll need is your room number.
The what? The room number? Yeah, well, it's 462.
Then the name and just your signature.
And the what?
Then your name, printed, and then signature.
Okay. What is your name?
My name's Kai.
What?
Kai, Kai.
Oh, Kai. Thank you, Kai.
All right, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
There was a woman, everybody. Kai. She did have fishnets on. So that was great. Well, I have a lot of food here to eat, folks. And you know what happens when food gets cold. Nothing very good. So I'm going to eat. I hope everybody is well. This is the podcast. This is the podcast this week. You can hear the plates. Oh, now this salmon looks good. Salmon with broccoli and cauliflower. It looks like a little mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes seem a little weak. But look, the ice cream is melting. I always start eating with ice cream. I'll always start with ice cream. And by the way, I'm really glad you heard, me interacting with people, with real people. Because a lot of times, you just listen to the podcast and you're like, what the fuck is this podcast? What the hell is it? But it's real life here, folks. It's real life. Let me take a bite of the salmon with you guys still with me and see how it is. Not bad. Not bad. All right, guys, now I'm really hungry. I'm going to watch the end of Grosse Pointe Blank. I hope you enjoyed this. Kevin will add some music to it and all kinds of stuff. I love you guys, especially the people I see on the road who are fans of the podcast, and not only the great Crimmonses and the great Max, but also there were other people who said they're really big fans and listen to it all the time. So we'll see what they think of this one, huh? All right, guys. Ciao, Bella.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in for Apocalypse Tune. If you want more of this podcast, you know where to go. Check the links below. Other than that, thank you so much. Have a great week, and we'll see you in 7 days.